Notorious TJ is just banking the river left and right.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, champion.
Welcome back to the vlog. I'm in London, England, heading up to Manchester for the PokerStars Open there. Thought we'd do something a little bit different and fun today. I recently played a live stream down at the Lodge in Austin, Texas. So Slick Rick is on commentary. He's a great dude down there, and he's involved with the local sports scene. Has been there for years since they started their live stream. Skull Mike is the guy who does the show running and the lineups, and he does a great job putting together low stakes, mid stakes, high stakes streams, as well as tournament streams. 5-5 game, but most of the time it had 5, 5, 10, 25, sometimes 50, sometimes $100 straddle. The knit game is on, where the last person to win a hand has to pay a bounty. We're also playing team poker. It's 4 versus 4. Whichever team is collectively up more money at the end of the stream has to pay the other team $1,000 each. A lot of fun stuff. If you've never played a live stream, I'm sure you've watched them. People tend to play way too many hands, mix it up, fight for pots, put on a show. That's what we do. So let's jump in and just talk about some of the biggest hands that we played. I'll tell you my thought process, and we'll have some fun.
Seats 1, 3, 5, and 7. Dusty, Gage, Brandt, and Coat Tilt. They're on one team. Big Daddy Chaz, Crypto Max, Notorious TJ, and Skull are on the other team. The only way you want to pay attention to teams is two things. One, at the end of the show, we'll add up everybody's wins, and the losing team will have to pay the winning team $1,000 each.
Cheers, boys.
We're back.
Good luck.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Team Modelo, here we go.
Should be a lot of drinking going on.
After completely whiffing the first couple pots, we get involved with this hand where we're playing a hand that shouldn't be in there, 9-8 offsuit against a couple of players, but the nit game is on. And whenever you're playing the nit game, there's always a lot of value in getting rid of your button as early as possible. Then, for the rest of the nit game, when other people are fighting for pots and expanding their ranges and getting loose and aggressive, you don't have to, because you've already won your hand. So you'll see this over and over this video. Early in the nit game, we're in there, we're fighting, we're battling, because there's a lot of value in winning your early pot. So in this one, again, we're playing 5-5. 3K cap at the start, but it's 5, 5, 10, 25 pretty much all night long. That little red dot next to your percentages tells you that you still have a nit button. Brandt calls the straddle to 75. I call in the big blind with 9-8 off. Skull 3-bets the king-queen off. Brandt's going to call, and I'm going to come along as well. This is too wide, shouldn't be there in the first place, but we're going to mix it up. I usually keep a pretty high VPIP in these stream games. See a pretty good flop here with 10-10-9. Flop a pair on a paired board. Fixed to have the best hand quite often. It does check around, and unfortunately the ace hits on the turn. Skull has a lot of aces, but when he checks back again, our 9 could be good. He, of course, could check back some of his aces and go for value on the river. And if that's what he's doing, he's going to get paid. This is a slightly weird bet, in my opinion, just because now that the club comes in, the straight comes in, is he really going for value with an ace anymore? Probably. But he bets 500 into 1135. We've got to call 500 to win 1635. We only need to be right about 30% of the time. So he very possibly could have been trapping an ace that checked back the flop. Went for value on the river. If he did so, good job. But if we're right 30% of the time, this is a good call. I think he's got a lot of queen jacks, king queens, things that need to get pocket pairs and a weak pair to fold. And we both got our nit button too. So if you're close in this game, especially when you both have your nit buttons, you typically want to lean towards putting the money in. I do. He shows his king high, and we go ahead and scoop the 2K pot.
Back from Barcelona, Notorious TJ. Both a tournament crusher and also works for, I believe it's poker.org.
All right, in this next hand, Crypto Max is in there with King 10 offsuit. He's somebody that we love to battle with, and he's a very good player, very aggressive, not afraid to put the money in. If you don't know him, follow him, his channel. I'll share the link below. Him and T1000 down there are content creators in Austin. They're great. So you see that Dusty opens up the King Jack off to $100. This is not an ordinary 5-5 game. Crypto Max 3-bets the King 10-0, and we find a very strong Ace Queen offsuit in the straddle. Good squeeze spot with $2,700 in our stack. We are definitely going to be putting in a 4-bet. Question is sizing now. We'll put in $900, 1/3 of our stack, and we just go ahead and take it down. That will not be the last time that we 4-bet the Ace Queen off against Crypto Max. Right back battling with Crypto again. He raises the Ace Jack off. We just call on the button in position with a very playable suited King 9. And Gig'em Gage is going to come along with the Jack 10 suited as well. Playing more like a 10-25 game. We flop top pair. Definitely have to go for some value and protection. You'll see Gage has the flush draw. That's the hand we want to get called by. Deny equity from. Go 225, get called by Gage. He's got the flush draw. And Crypto comes along as well with his Ace of Spades. Maybe has some plans on spade turns. 6 of Hearts. And Gage is going to make a very popular tournament style play where he has way more 6s than I do. Going to donk with his Jack 10 of Spades. I'm only calling always. Just going to sit there and take my time before putting the 550 in. He is setting up a pot-sized river jam, should he so choose. We avoid the spade. And if I were him after check raising the flop, again, I probably don't have a very strong hand because I did not 3-bet pre. I would probably put me to the test and go ahead and shove that 2,200 effective. But once he checks, looks like he's given up. I'm just going to check behind with my showdown value, take the king, and we win. Starting off strong.
Hey, yo!
Notorious TJ's going to win a $2,200 pot.
Timing, baby. All right, we were never going to lose a hand. If you weren't there, I call.
Okay, great.
Ace high.
I was waiting for the all-in.
All right, next hand's going to show getting in the mix against Big Daddy Chaz, who has one of the best laughs in poker, especially at the Austin card room. We call with King 7 suited in the cutoff. Both of us have our nip buttons. See a 6-5-3 flop. We've got 2 overs. We've got a gut shot. When he continues for about 28% pot, we just call. Plans of taking this away if he checks to us, or we could, of course, just get there. On the 10 of spades turn, once he checks, kind of going to start to put the pressure on, plan on double barreling this turn and river if we get called. Doesn't have to be huge. 2/3 pot will get him to fold most of his air. Whenever you want to get rid of your nit button, you do have to show your cards though. So that adds an extra element to this thing where people get to see all the hands that you're playing much more frequently, and you have to manage that meta.
Jan Win. So Big Daddy Chaz.
This is the hand where we put a lot of money in with the worst hand. Back to Crypto Max. He opens. This is a $50 straddle hand. He puts 150. I 3-bet. Out of position, 4x to 600, and he just goes ahead and rips it. We're only about 80 big blinds effective here. Crypto's already down multiple thousands of dollars in this game. I go ahead and call. Can't fold a hand as strong as Ace Queen in this position. And we got $8,000. Skull Mike says, hey, run it twice. You guys are teammates. Both of us prefer to run it once. You can hear that here.
We can just go twice.
I'd also prefer once.
All right.
Unless you want to go twice.
Wow. Once, yeah.
All right, one time.
They're going to rip it.
So we decided to run it once. Doesn't matter that we're teammates because whatever one person wins, the other person loses. So it doesn't hurt our team either way. And a cooler flop, if we would have played it any differently, all the money's going to go in anyway. We need a queen to win or pair the board to chop. On the river, luck box mode activated. Crypto's probably down like $10,000 in a 5-5 game. An hour and a half into the game, maybe. One of the biggest pots we played, and we just get lucky on the river. So a very hot start here. Very hot start. Spoiler alert, we don't stay that hot. All right, this is a fun hand. In this game, you see those time chips in front of us. You can, whenever your head's up in a pot, you can talk with your friends. This is team poker. You can go out and discuss strategies, share each other's hands, with each other and try to decide what's the best action to take. We end up heads up with somebody, but he's all in pre-flop, and so I just openly discuss my hand at the table. The nit he's got a nit game, he's got a short-ish stack, and we call it off in a questionable spot. So let's take a look. We're running good, we're feeling good, we got a big stack.
Straddle 100, raise 350, raise.
You heard that, straddle 100. So the open is to $350 by Brant. I just call in position with the Jack 10 suited on the button. Very playable hand, but Dusty wakes up with Ace King and shoves his $2,100 stack. This is 21 big blinds. 21 big blinds because we're playing $100 triple, quadruple straddle something. Brant thinks for a while and gets out of the way, and then you'll hear me talk with my teammates.
Team here in person, right? It doesn't matter. There's no more action. You guys want me to call with Jack 10 of diamonds?
Yeah. I would like you to, yeah.
Jack 10 of diamonds.
I know, it's pretty strong.
Take a vote.
It's last two in the Nick game. I mean, he could have like
I mean, he could be at like ace 5
sixes, sevens, eights.
Yeah.
Even if he has ace.
He had ace 7 earlier.
We're okay with ace king.
As long as it doesn't have queen plus.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, ace 10, ace jack has.
Yeah, you might as
but
well.
I feel like I should put it in. Right?
Call it. Yeah, just call.
Call.
There you have it. We decide as a team, we put it in. Okay, great shape, Slick, 60-40. We're fine here. Looking for a beautiful jack in the window, but an ace behind it. Not what you want to see. Turn a bunch of equity with the 7 of diamonds. Jack 10 or 9 for the best hand. Bink it again. The river. Another nearly 5K pot coming our way. Gotta love it.
Right.
Give me 3K quickly.
Notorious TJ.
All right, this hand is one I wish I could have back. Again, you're going to see this storyline over and over where we get out of line early in the nit game. Gig 'em Gage opens. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet my 9-5 offsuit. Don't ask me why. There's no real reason. Code tilt calls with ace-2 suited. Gage calls, and we go 3 ways. Out of position with a bad hand, but the betting lead. And we flop the best hand. We don't have the best equity. We're actually up against 2 straight draws. Bunch of overs left and right, but it checks through. 4 diamonds pretty innocuous. Our 9 might be the best hand. Let's bet. Let's clear out some equity. Hopefully we can just win this hand right now. Like I said earlier, trying to win the nit game early. But we're going to get called in 2 spots here. And there's one card on the river we really don't want to see, and that's a 5. Because a 5 gives us 2 pair and makes Code tilt his hidden straight. Teammates rooting me on, and the 5 hits. At least it's the 5 of diamonds because I'm not going to bet myself. I'm going to go ahead and check it over, but tilt just throws out a bet. 60% pot. Annoying. I think we just had to put it in with 2 pair with the nit game on. You see him turn over the ace, and I just think I win. The deuce behind it. There you go. Wish I could have that pot back. Obviously, I got out of line pre. Trying to capitalize on the early nit game and get that value of getting rid of my button quickly. Don't do that. Bad play. I got punished. What are you going to do? All right, Gig 'em Gage calls. Just limps pre-flop the $50 straddle. I find A7 suited in the small blind. I'm going to go ahead and raise this one against the limp range of Gage. But Big Daddy Chaz calls the ace-jack off. I was a little surprised not to see a 4-bet from him, or a 3-bet from him there. Especially against me. I've been pretty aggressive. And Gage comes along. 6-5-5. Decent flop. I think we can continue sometimes. If there was a diamond on the flop, I would bet. Without a diamond, I'm just going to check it over, and it checks around. So, see the ace on the turn. Want you to watch how much I bet here. $125. Just over 10% pot. What does that accomplish? We're naming our own price. We're not getting, piling money in out of position. And we get called by King High from Gig 'em Gage. So a little bit of money goes in there by a worse hand. We do get lucky. We bink another river to chop it up with Big Daddy Chaz. Again, it's going to be a small bet. Hard to get called by worse. We want to get called by a 6. A non-believing pocket pair like 7s or 8s. King High like we got called on the turn by Gage. Chaz does call and we chop it up. We will take it. Here we go. The next Nick game is on. It's early in the game, and so we're going to get after it with the Queen 4 suited from the cutoff. Let's bump it up. It is a $100 straddle yet again, so we're playing 75 big blinds deep. Gig 'em gauge, ace jack off from the low jack. Or where is he? Undergun play. He's in the straddle, or the first straddle. Bumps it up, but kind of a small 3-bet. 750. We're in position. We got a suited hand. The nit game is on. We're feeling it. We're gonna go ahead and put in the call. I say small 3-bet. $750 in a 5-5 game. Small 3-bet. That's the game we're in. 7-8 jack. There's a heart out there. We got one over. We got backdoor straight draw. We got backdoor flush draw. When he continues, I think we're gonna call here. This is a better board for us. The jack 8-7, the raise caller has way more sets. I have more pocket 7s, more pocket 8s. I have more 9-10. I have some jack, of course. I think I'm definitely going to continue, and then hope I'm up against like 2 big cards. Then I can take it away from him, or if the board gets even scarier, I can take advantage of being in position, controlling the size of pot, that sort of thing. So I put in the call, hoping to pick up some equity or outplay him. And the turn presents the opportunity to do so on the 10 of spades. This is a very scary card. Imagine if you have pocket queens, pocket kings, pocket aces on this board. This looks pretty scary. We have all the sets, we have all the straights, we have all the 2 pairs. So once we float the flop, we are going to put in 1200. The idea with this bet is if he just it's kind of a geometric sizing, which means the percent of the pot that we bet on the turn is going to be similar percent of the pot that we bet on the river if he were to call us. So we're setting up a geometric size. And he uses his time button to have a meeting with his friends. They can all talk about what hands they have. They can all share information. They can talk about the board. Let's listen.
I did, so I could say what I had, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I had 8-9. I folded 8-9.
I have ace jack, so I top out, but it's jack 10, 8-7 board. I 3-bet pre 750, and then I bet 600 flop.
Wasn't a big bet on the flop.
Is there
Who's this
is there
against?
hearts or anything out there?
Who's this
Complete
against?
Rambo board.
Who is this against?
The guy to my right,
Yeah,
to your left.
Pretty near the ball.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Thank you,
I
Tim.
think he's got plenty
I
of
still have,
shit.
like, over
Nothing
4K,
relevant.
but like I know that if I call here, I gotta call river. Like most rivers gotta call. Because he's setting up a river jam for sure.
I am setting up a river jam.
He might be trying to play bully ball.
I think he's got plenty of shit. But
I do have plenty of shit, and I am trying to play bully ball. These guys are spot
what's he gonna
on.
think when
I mean,
we're out here talking on the turn?
Bet, in position, you make the same bet with a set though. You can have 8s or 7s.
Yeah.
I definitely could.
a lot given away by us being out here talking on the turn.
Not
Maybe it's the reverse.
But I mean, they're just gonna say I have an overpair, so then it's like I could call it and see if he sets river, and then we can think about it. But I mean, if I call now, I think like I have to call river. Unless the river comes like 9.
I like a lot of what Gage is saying here, but I don't like the conclusion they come
He
to.
could still have like.
Yeah, but
he could still have sets.
if he jams, you could
two
just
pairs
fold.
and shit.
Well, why not just call 1200 and see what he does on the river?
Because you said you got to go with it.
If you think I'm bluffing, you should just call, right?
What'd you fold, Dusty? Do you remember?
What river are you gonna fold?
I mean, what? I mean, there's like a bunch of like weird rivers that like he could still jam. Like, I mean, he could have king queen right here, like floating me with that, and I turned
I agree.
up and under.
I agree.
But
You like the call?
I would get. I mean,
like,
personally,
what do you just
I
call?
might get a little
He just called
sticky.
three
I'm not
flop.
saying it's
So he doesn't
good.
have an overpair, so it's like you could have any pocket pair, like, or we could have him beat. We could have the same hand. But we have like his complete bluff is king queen, but he could be doing this like king jack, trying to check back river.
I think because he has a 9, in my opinion,
And an 8.
I would fold or go all in. I don't like calling, honestly. There's no good. There's no
I
good.
I like the click or the.
I know that's what
Sub better
I
than
mean.
What do you
I
think?
don't know.
I'm in for $700 for all the pocket.
The click might
Yeah.
just have him.
He's got 4K
blended.
behind the
He's got me
1200.
covered. He's got me covered.
Shit.
And I got like 4K behind.
Bet 1200.
we
He
could-
has 4K.
I have 4K. He's got me covered.
It's not the end of the world to fold, but I don't.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
either
I
a
think
fold or-
I think he's
You think
gonna be
fold?
full of shit a lot.
I got to.
Enough,
Full
not a
shit,
lot,
right?
but
I
enough.
don't, he hasn't played a hand. Like, he hasn't like showed
Him
me.
having a
No,
nine
that guy's he's getting in there.
Yeah, Gage is very wrong. I've been very active.
He's
You think
getting,
so?
yeah.
He opened the first 3 hands.
Yeah,
Been
he's
mixing.
in there.
Yeah, hope he don't get snapped.
Jamski. Jamski, I like
Shit.
it.
All right, they decide on a jam. Why I think this is the worst decision between call, jam, and fold. When you go all in here, if you think I'm bluffing, you heard him say, he's full of shit. He's playing bully ball, right? He has king queen. They're naming all these hands that I'm bluffing with. Why do you go all in, right? If you think I'm bluffing and you go all in, I'm going to fold. If you think I'm bluffing, and just call. Let me bluff the river too. And when you go all in, the only hands that are going to call you are hands that have you beat. So they do choose to go all in. They're going to go walk back in the room and announce they're all in. And of course, against an all in, all I can do is snap fold. Good hand. They figured out that I was bluffing. I don't like what they did with that information, but good play. All right, this next hand, you're going to see the Nick game in full effect once again. $25 straddle on. Dusty opens up to 75. We get several callers, and we find ace-3 offsuit. Time for a squeeze. We see an ace, and we go big to 800. This is a size we're going to use with good hands and bad hands when the Nit game is on.
Amazing time to say. He's got a button?
You heard him. The Nit game's on. That means people are much looser. That means you use bigger sizings with both your good hands and your bad hands. And against the opener of Dusty, he's only got 1,800 in his stack. So if he shoves after we put 800 in, we're obviously calling. We're kind of fine either way, especially once he starts thinking like this. Everybody folds. Dusty does put it in, and we go ahead and snap call with our ace. Ace-3 against King-9 suited. Pretty fair fight. He flops top pair, but we have the nut flush draw. What a turn. The ace of clubs. We've got 91% equity. No! He finds the 9 of diamonds out of nowhere. That does hurt. That one hurts. We were in great shape to win another big pot there. And now we've given almost, pretty much all of our profit back. We had it up to 11,000. We're right back to our starting stack. We lose a big pot for our team. We lose the Nit game, and things are starting to unravel here. But, we're playing $4,000 pots regularly with shit hands in a 5-5 game. Lots of actions. Things happen quick. Let's get on to the next one. All right, this next hand. We're back there battling against Crypto Max. $25 straddle is on. We have fallen down to, what's our stack? $2,500. So we've got 100 big blinds, and Crypto Max opens it up for 8x after Gig Engage calls. But this is, so when you lose the Nit game, it doesn't go to the other players. You put it right in the middle of the pot. It's a splash pot. So there's $350 additional dollars in the middle of the table. And it was me that lost the Nit game. So that's my money sitting in the middle. I'm coming for it. So that explains why Crypto Max comes in for such a big bet, 8x the size. And then I find pocket threes in the big blind, and against Crypto Max with $350 extra dollars in the middle with my $2,500, I go ahead and shove my pocket threes in the big blind. Unfortunately, Skull Mike says, I'm not letting it get through. He finds ace-10 offsuit, and he's going to find the call against me. And we're going to go heads up for $6,000 pot, something like that, with threes against ace-10, big flip. All right, please God, let our small pair hold. Otherwise, we go from 11K to 0. He hits an ace, but we hit a set, and we have him drawing almost dead. Fortune favors the bowl, baby. We double up, and we've got almost $6,000 again. Let's go. All right, this next hand, you're going to see a pattern where I'm kind of picking on Brant on my right. I've just got a feeling for when he's strong and when he's weak. And I'm 3-betting, and I'm 4-betting him relentlessly. It's going to happen again in this hand. Going back to the same thing. When the Nit game is on, and it's early in the Nit game, I'm just leaning towards pure aggression, trying to win that early pot. Even if it's not a good play in the moment, it lets me play the rest of the Nit game without a button, and there's a lot of money to be won in that situation. So it's worth the risk for me. Look at the hand that he's raising with. Brent's just putting it in $300 with 5 deuce suited. So if I'm going to play this hand, it has to be a raise. It's supposed to be a fold, obviously. Nit game on. Against Brant, I'm going to 3-bet. Look at the hands I get to fold, too. Pocket 7s fold. Queen 10 offsuit folds. We both got Nit game buttons. He folds. Look at this. We have to show our hand. So everyone sees what we're getting up to, but what are you going to do about it, guys? You going to fight back against me, or are you going to fold and let me just keep getting rid of my Nit button? Look at him shake his head. This is what we do. I'm just kidding. We're very, very fortunate to not run into the top of range over and over. Usually when we're getting out of line, especially pre-flop, people have shit. I think there's a certain skill to knowing when they have shit, right? And being willing to pull the trigger with a bad hand. But still, sometimes they have it. A lot of the time today, they haven't had it. Or when they have had it, we've got lucky. So, still, not going to shy away from aggression on a stream game with the Nit game and straddle after straddle after straddle in play. And it's working out for us most of the time. And against Skull, there's not a ton to be said, but this is the hand after a nit game, so there's an extra $350 in the pot again. We limp with the queen jack off. Skull raises it up from the small blind to 500 with ace jack suited, and we call in position. All spades on the flop. It goes check on the flop, check on the turn, and then to the river, and 5 spades on the board. So we get lucky on the turn by making a flush. We have the third nuts. After Skull checks the flop, he very rarely has a big spade. He's usually betting all of his big spades, whether they be in the form of a pocket pair or 2 big cards. I check back for deception on the turn, trying to get him to bluff. He does not bite. He checks and he folds, so well played pot by Skull. He puts money in when he has the best hand. He puts $0 in when he's behind, so good for him. But we do win that extra money. Regular pot, the splash pot, collecting that nit tax money. All right, here we go again. $50 straddle on. Crypto Max is going to open up the queen jack off from the cutoff for 150. Brant's going to 3-bet the 8-6 suited from the button, and I'm not buying it, and I've got a button. Queen jack suited, 4-bet coming in, $1,800. Enjoy this. These guys know I'm getting after it. These guys, they've seen the hands I'm showing down. And still, I'm getting ace jack off to fold. Getting ace 9 off to fold. Crypto Max's same hand folds, and now I'm just up against Brant, the light 3-bet. And all of a sudden his entire stack is at risk of, he's got about $6,000 total. Good luck.
We have time chip if you want to use it.
Free flop. Free flop.
Little table talk, try to appear very relaxed. I am honest. If he shows, I'm probably folding. He lets it go. I got to show that I'm getting out of line. I did have the best hand, but still. Once again, get rid of our nit button early in the nit game. Next hand, we're going to play an interesting pot against Big Daddy Chaz. He raises the ace-7 offsuit to 300. I just call with a very strong ace-queen suited, disguise my hand, lots of playability, and Big Daddy Chaz has the nit button. We want him to bluff. We want him to pile in money when we make a better hand than he does. Let's play a hand. Flop the jack 9-5. We got 2 overs. We got a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. We could have the best hand, and if we don't, we have a lot of possibilities. So we're going to check it over, planning to call at least 1 bet if he does continue, and he does. He puts in $300. We call all the things that we already talked about, and we see one of the best cards we could see, the 8 of diamonds. This brings in a gut shot for our queen. We have the nut flush draw. We still have 2 overs, and one of the best cards we could see. Checking our entire range here. Big Daddy Chaz is going to put in an over bet of $1,800, I think. Yeah, $1,800. So he bets $1,800 into $1,385. With all of the equity that we have, we do not want to just call and then have to check fold rivers. And we're never in too bad of a shape, right? We got the gutter ball, we got the nut flush draw. Worst case scenario, he has a set and we have to get there. But a lot of the time when he puts in this 1,800, it's a polarized bet side. I like it from him. We kind of have to fold like our jack 10s, our pocket 10s, pocket 7s, pocket 6s, that sort of thing. So good on him on the double flush draw board, putting in the over bet. But we're not going to go away easily. I don't take too long before I just check, rip it in his face. I put in the 5,300. Thinking I'm semi-bluffing, but I do have the best hand, and he has to let it go. I do show the hand, and they give me shit.
Yeah, it's down. That's him. That's your teammate. Tell him to go fuck himself. That's mounts.
Big dog.
Semi bluff.
Yeah, you kind of just had like a really good hand, bro.
Lots of outs.
It was sucks.
Trying to get action from all the other guys so that we just crush the end, okay?
They're already
that
good,
wasn't
but
personal.
they're all on monkey tilt. They're just fucking. They're putting this shit. We're all on monkey tilt. I don't think you have to convince anyone.
No set, no bet.
Nick killed 1 ace, and he's like fucking all in.
I'm so tilted, I'll snap it with 6. For me.
I hope you are.
All day.
You can hear that, and CryptoMax is exactly right. I'm trying to get people to pile money in with worse hands. That's the goal. I happened to take it out on my teammate in that time. Put in the check raise semi bluff, and we got we had the best hand the whole way. So love to see it. Would hate to have been snapped in that spot, but all right, another really interesting hand where we have ace queen again. $100 straddle is in play. And I believe this is another splash pot because look how much money is in the pot, 835. So Gage calls, Crypto Max calls. Normally in cash games, you won't see a lot of like calls pre-flop from good players, right? But when there's a bunch of dead money in the pot, it's not that bad of a play. You want to give yourself a good price. You don't want to get blown off your equity. So see call from these guys, and then we wake up with ace queen. So when all that is true, you definitely want to be raising up your really good hands, and you want to use a big sizing when you do so. So we find ace queen, and we make it 700 to go. Gage folds, but look, Crypto Max snap calls us with 8-7 offsuit. It's that point of the night. He's seen my shenanigans. He's stuck. There's a lot of money in the pot. He's going to see a flop. And I decided to play this hand very weird. I'll talk you through my decision on each street. There's over $2,000 in the pot. Jack 4-3, 2 spades. We do not have a spade. A lot of times our ace queen is the best hand, but let's say he checks to us and then we bet. If he check raises us, we kind of have to let our hand go, which sucks. We're in position. We have 2 overs. If he checks to us, we're just going to check behind, and we could do this with some really strong hands too, like Jack-Jack or Ace-Ace with the ace of spades, Ace-King of spades, maybe. He checks to us. We're just going to check behind with our 2 overs. Check behind, find the ace of diamonds on the turn. All right, once we hit the ace of diamonds, what we should be doing, almost always, is betting, right? Especially if Crypto Max checks to us. Whether we have the ace or not, this is a much better card for our range or perceived hand than his. So we should be betting. But a lot of the dynamics at play here, Crypto Max just just limping and then snap calling to my big raise. I don't think he has a very strong hand. So I don't know that we're going to get value on both the turn and the river. I decide that I'm going to check this back and then try to pick off a bluff on the river or go for some value on the river. Very non-traditionally played hand here. When he checks, he looks up, he gives the body language that he's weak. I decide I'm just going to check behind. Could this backfire? Absolutely. I'm hoping that it doesn't. And the 8 of clubs is a very innocuous card. I want you to see how quickly he calls when I bet this river. I let him make a pair. I think I bet about 66 or 70% pot. Yeah, 1,500. Trying to get called by a worth ace or an 8. And he snap calls with 3rd pair.
Bad river.
You hear him say, bad river. Well, when you're in there with 8-7 off against ace queen, you're just going to lose chips quite a bit. Worked out that time. All right, on this hand, we are getting quite a bit out of line yet again, but we're playing 5, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, 200. So there is a lot of money in there. Crypto Max raises up to 600. I call with 7-3 suited. Tequila shots are arriving. We're all drinking. And I call with a 7-3 suited. Big Daddy Chaz calls with 10-5 suited. Fully off the rails at this point. Crypto Max flops us in a horrible shape. He has the over. He has the nut flush draw. We both have the same straight draw. Big Daddy Chaz has the best hand with top pair. But really, really hard for us to win this hand. We do bink an offsuit jack on the turn, giving us the straight. Checks around again. Now that they all check, I'm feeling really good about my 7. No one has a queen here, ever. And so we probably have the best hand. We can see, obviously, that Crypto Max and I are chopping, but a lot of times our 7 is going to be the best hand, so probably going to just call Crypto. When he bets $1,000 half pot, I don't see a lot of reason in raising because I don't think anything worse than us is ever calling. The best hand he could have that we're beating is pocket jacks. If he bets with pocket jacks and then gets raised, do you really think he's going to call? I don't think so. So he puts $1,000 out there. I flick in 1 chip. Big Daddy Chaz folds. And we're going to chop it up. I get very lucky once again. Coming to the end of the entire stream game. Our team is up, but we're not up a ton of money. And I take it on myself to make sure that our team wins this team poker game. We're playing 5, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, 200. This is a massive 5-5 game. And once again, the trend continues. Brent opens light on my right. I pick up on it. We both have knit buttons. Massive straddles are happening. There's a ton of money in the pot. He raises. Yeah, he makes it 8, and we're going to 3-bet to 2,200. On tilt Nick, he's all in for $1,000, so no offense, Nick. His money kind of doesn't matter in this pot.
If you go all in and I call and you win, you can win it for your team.
I mean, there's no game, but.
Wow, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's so sick.
Shit, well, that could be next level. That's next level table talk right there.
Little bit of table talk there. It is truth.
Oh, he wants the smoke. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude.
We get a call from Brant. You hear what he said there? I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. I have been relentlessly 3-betting, 4-betting this man. He's sick of it. But guess what? When you got King Deuce and I got King 7, I just have the best hand. I know I'm out of line, but I'm picking my spots carefully, and it's working out. He wants to see a flop, and unfortunately for him, we're both going to make a pair of kings. I love a stream game. I love playing at the lodge. Look at this. Brant shows his cards to Code Tilt Nick, who's already all in, by the way, and still in the pot. I show my cards to my teammate, Skull Mike, and now all of us know what each other has, and we're going. This is a $5,500 pot with another $6,200 behind effective, and we're all laughing and drinking and showing each other's cards. This is what poker is supposed to be. And at this moment, Skull now realizes that I have got out of line with King 7 off in a massive pot, putting our team's profit at risk. Let's hope for a good flop. We flop top pair on a monotone board. We're not going anywhere. We're never folding our hand on the flop. Really, really hope we have the best hand because we're in here now. I don't think we have to go super big here. I think we can bet a small size because if we, let's say for example, we jam, probably only getting called if we are beat or he's got a massive draw. So I think we can go small to try to get called by worse hands. And if we do get jammed on, we're just going to go with our top pair. So we're going to put out a bet of $2,000 and see what happens. And Brant is, you can tell, hating life. He's tried to take a stand. He's called with King Deuce suited. He's flopped top pair, but he's facing more aggression from this guy who's been picking on him all day. Really surprised to see Brant fold top pair after being willing to put in $2,200 pre-flop. It's not a good call. I mean, we're both off the rails here, right? But like, this is obviously you would love to flop the nuts, but you just don't flop a really strong hand often enough to put it in with King Deuce of clubs and then fold when you make top pair. So I would have loved to see him continue, given I had a better king. But we do get him to fold. And I want you to watch his reaction when he sees what I have. Just listen to the rest of this hand. He's so pissed that I'm getting out of line. But guess what? I had the best hand.
What the hell?
Give me 3.
Why? Why? Why?
That is sick. That's sick.
What is the...
I'll tell you.
He says, what the fuck, you asshole. So tired of my shenanigans. But guess what, buddy? We had the best hand.
Dude, I made it 800. He just had to make it 22. I had the best hand, didn't I? No. I mean, yeah.
And when I see a king of hearts on the turn, and Brent said that he had a king, I really wish he would have hung around. But it turns out we would have chopped, right? So it doesn't really matter. I'm glad that he folded, because if he saw that king turn, then he's never folding, and we're going to chop up the money. So I appreciate the fold. Ship it to Papa.
I'm King Deuce, but like...
That's why!
This is a shitty game, bro.
Let's look at our cumulative winnings. We won $9,465, playing like an absolute maniac. 3-betting, 4-betting, 5-betting, getting in there with garbage. There's our VPIP, 38%. Typically, at the lodge, we've been closer to 50, 60%. We actually didn't have a ton of hands to work with today, despite what you saw here on these highlights. So we were in the mix, squeezed out a cool 38%, as well as a nearly 10K profit. Thanks for having me, Skull Mike, Slick Rick, the lodge, Greg Potter on commentary there for the second half. Appreciate everything. If you guys like this kind of vlog with the live stream, the highlights, the commentary, the thought process, the absolute shenanigans, leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about it, or tell me what you'd rather see on this vlog, because we're just trying stuff. We're figuring out what you want. This is for you trying to keep the people entertained. I'm on my way up to Manchester, play a PokerStars Open, hopefully win a trophy and several €100,000 while I'm here. Please like and subscribe. YouTube has been fucking over their content creators, and it makes it really hard to want to continue doing this. So your support, your love, your comments, and your watching makes it worth it. So hope to be able to continue putting content out there just like this. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll see you next time.